filtering out keys, renaming keys, and other magic with the mapped types as clause. We've got a purchase type created, which includes some properties: ID of type string, date of type date object, hidden stuff of type number, whatever, just some example properties. We also have a map type called mapped, and it includes a type parameter called t. What it does is basically copy-pasting the keys and their corresponding values from type t, so this type changes nothing comparing to the original t. And we've got a mapped purchase, which is basically a usage of the mapped over the purchase type. When using the as clause, we have access to the k type parameter, or basically whatever we put here in the range of available keys. So what we can do, for instance, is to rename the keys. So let's say that we want to prefix all the properties with fields, so that would be field ID, field date, field hidden stuff, whatever. So let's use a template string, and we're going to put here what k is, and let's prepend it with a field. What error we get here is that property could be potentially a property key in Typescript, and that is string, number, or symbol. And since we can stringify a string, everything is okay, but it could be potentially something different. So let's create an example of such situation. That could be, let's say, a declare const s, which is basically a unique symbol, just to put an example of what that could be. So the thing is, we are not allowed to stringify a symbol because that would simply make no sense. So what we can do is basically filter out anything that is not a string. So we can think of it as if it was basically one expression. So what we're going to do is to check whether k extends string, and if it does, then we're going to put the renaming that we want, or if it doesn't, then we can basically leave what it originally was. And in this case, we can basically see that they get renamed, and s, which is not a string, basically is left as it was. We can also, since this is k is already made sure that this is a string, we can also use the capitalize type utility so that they get also capitalized. So renaming is one possibility. Let's take a look at something different. So what we can do is we can filter out either the keys, or either depending on the key or depending on the value. So what we can do right now is to use a conditional type again. So let's remove all the things that start with the hidden prefix. So again, we're using the as clause here, and we want to check whether k extends a string that starts with the hidden thing and then includes whatever. So we're just going to check whether it infers some x, whatever that is. So if it does, then we don't want to have it within our object. Of course, that should be a question mark. And if it doesn't, then it is fine. And here we can see that hidden stuff, since it starts with the hidden, has been moved away. So in this case, we do infer x, though we don't care about x itself. So here we're filtering out depending on what the keys are. But we can also filter out the key value pairs depending on what is the value type. So let's say that we would like to remove the key value pairs where the value is a non-primitive. So we want to remove date, which is a date object, and this object over here, because this is an object, this is not a primitive. So again, let's remove it and do the as. Now, always within the as clause, we have access to k, though there is nothing stops us from making the condition which checks what is under the k key. So we can make the condition k of t extends, and here we can check whether this is an object, and if it is, then we don't want it, we want it to be removed. Otherwise, we put, and we don't put k of t, because here we are defining the key k itself. So we are leaving k, just the condition depends on k of t. And what we can see over here is that ID remains, hidden stuff remains because there are primitives, though date and the symbol have been removed.